Alex EALA is back in New York, and this time, the expectations are completely different. Just 1 year ago, she was fighting to make history at the US Open. Now, she arrives as a WTA champion, a top 20 player, and one of the most talked about young stars in women's tennis. And here's what makes this story so interesting. Alex isn't simply returning to the US Open, she is returning with something she didn't have last year. Proof that she can beat the biggest names in the game. The 21-year-old Filipina has arrived in New York and has already started training at the iconic Arthur Ashe Stadium, preparing for what could become one of the biggest tournaments of her young career. The US Open itself shared footage of EALA, getting to work on court with her coach Joan Bosch. But why is everyone suddenly paying so much attention to Alex EALA? Because the Alex EALA walking into New York in 2026 is not the same player who walked into Flushing Meadows in 2025. Last year, EALA made history by becoming the first player from the Philippines to win a Grand Slam singles match. She defeated Clara Tauson in a dramatic first-round battle before her run ended against Cristina Buksha in the second round. That was already a huge moment. But since then, EALA has continued to climb. And then came the breakthrough that changed everything. Earlier this month, Alex EALA won her first WTA Tour singles title at the Mubadala City DC Open, defeating top seed Jessica Pegula in the final. Ella lost the opening set 6-4, but instead of collapsing under the pressure, she completely turned the match around, winning the second set 6-4 before dominating the deciding set 6-0. Think about that for a moment. She wasn't beating an unknown player. She was beating Jessica Pegula, one of the biggest names in women's tennis, in a WTA final. And she didn't just survive. She came back, she took control, and she finished the championship match with a 6-0 deciding set. That victory gave EALA her first WTA singles trophy and showed the tennis world that her rise was becoming very real. Now, EALA enters the US Open ranked around number 20 in the world, with the WTA live rankings projecting that she could climb even higher to a new career. Best of number 18. That is an enormous change from where she was just a year ago. And it creates one huge question. How far can Alex EALA actually go at this US Open? The answer is impossible to know right now, especially because her singles draw has not yet been revealed. But there are several reasons to believe that this could be a much bigger campaign than her 2025 appearance. First, confidence. Winning your first WTA title changes the way you walk onto a tennis court. Before that title, EALA knew she belonged at this level. After beating Pegula in a final, she has evidence. She now knows she can go through the pressure of a championship match, recover after losing the opening set, and finish against an elite opponent. That experience could become incredibly valuable in New York. Second, the ranking. EALA is now sitting around the top 20, and that means the expectations around her are rising. She isn't arriving as a surprise player anymore. Opponents know who she is, fans know who she is, and the tennis world knows what she can do. That brings pressure, but it also brings respect. And perhaps the most exciting part of this story is that EALA isn't only playing singles at the US Open. She is also entering the mixed doubles competition alongside Canadian star Felix Auger-Aliassime. Auger-Aliassime is currently ranked number 4 in the ATP standings, and this will be EALA's first appearance in the US Open mixed doubles event. That partnership alone is something fans should watch. EALA brings her aggressive baseline game and left-handed style, while Auger-Aliassime brings huge power and experience at the highest level. And the mixed doubles tournament is starting earlier than the traditional singles draw, with the Mixed Doubles Championship taking place from August 24 through August 26. But there is another event that could put EALA directly in the spotlight before her singles campaign even begins. On August 27th, she is scheduled to face American teenager Iva Jovic in the Stars of the Open exhibition event. So EALA's New York schedule is already becoming extremely busy. Mixed doubles, exhibition action, and then the main singles draw. That is a lot of tennis. But it also gives EALA something incredibly valuable: time on the biggest stage. She has already been seen training at Arthur Ashe Stadium, the largest stadium in tennis, as she prepares for her return to Flushing Meadows. And there is something symbolic about that image. A year ago, EALA came to New York as a rising prospect trying to prove that she belonged. Now she is walking onto Arthur Ashe Stadium as a top 20 player and a WTA champion. That's not just progress, that's a transformation. And the timing couldn't be more interesting. The 2026 US Open is packed with storylines. The tournament's singles main draw begins on August 30 and runs through September 13. Carlos Alcaraz is returning as the defending men's champion, while the women's field includes many of the world's biggest stars. And right in the middle of all that attention is Alex EALA. She may not be the favorite to win the entire tournament, but that's not necessarily the point. The bigger question is whether EALA can take the next step. Can she reach the third round? Can she go even further? Can she defeat another established star? And perhaps most importantly, can she handle the pressure that comes with being one of the most exciting young players in the sport? Because this time, nobody is going to underestimate her, and that could actually make things more difficult. Every opponent will know that EALA has already beaten top-level competition. Every opponent will know she has won a WTA title. Every opponent will know she is capable of changing the momentum of a match very quickly. But EALA also knows something now. She knows she can survive those moments. She knows she can come back. And she knows what it feels like to hold a WTA championship trophy. That's why this US Open could be a major turning point in her career. If EALA makes a deep run, her ranking could climb again. Her profile could grow even bigger internationally. And the Philippines could have another reason to celebrate one of the most important moments in the country's tennis history. But even if she doesn't make a deep run, the bigger story remains. Alex EALA is no longer simply a promising teenager trying to break through. She is now a 21-year-old WTA champion, competing around the top 20 of the world. And she is only getting started. The next few days could be fascinating. Her mixed doubles debut with Felix Auger-Aliassime, her Stars of the Open exhibition against Iva Jovic, and then the moment every EALA fan is waiting for, the US Open singles draw. The question isn't whether Alex EALA belongs on the stage anymore. She has already answered that. The question now is, how high can she climb? Last year, she came to New York looking to make history. This year, she comes back looking to build on it. And if her comeback victory over Jessica Pegula taught us anything, it's that counting Alex EALA out could be a very dangerous mistake. So keep your eyes on New York, because Alex EALA's US Open story is just beginning. If you believe Alex EALA can make a deep run at the 2026 US Open, let me know in the comments. And if you want more breaking tennis news, Alex EALA updates, match analysis, and US Open stories, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because the biggest part of this story may still be ahead.